What is the greatest boss that FromSoft has ever made? That's a difficult question, considering the insane range of bosses, as well as the care that is poured into 95% of them, at least. Tree Sentinels and Asylum Demon reskins, I'm talking to you. But out of all the bosses, there's one that stands above the rest. The design, the difficulty, and the epicness of stage and the score all to come together and to form a perfect mix. There's so many great Souls bosses. There's Ishin the Sword Saint. There's Ornstein and Smough, obviously. But who's the most badass at all of those? The answer is undoubtedly Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. The first thing I want to mention is his design. He is a fucking giant lion named Siraj in Stage 1 and speaks to you with a sense of grandeur and respect for your journey. He's a boss that will compliment you while beating your ass into the ground, and you can't help but to enjoy it. Then you get him to half his health, and he does a 180 and attacks you viciously and is slightly less respectful, at least to your windows to heal. His difficulty for the point you face him in the game is perfectly balanced. He's difficult enough to give most people a good challenge, although if you use a Mimic tier with adequate leveling, you'll likely demolish the boss. But if you go toe-to-toe with him, you're in for a good battle. And he is aggressive, particularly in Phase 2. But in both phases it feels like he never stops swinging his axe. This fight definitely feels like difficulty that isn't artificial and bullshit like some other bosses in this game. You know who I'm talking about. He'll usually keep you guessing, as his patterns can be sporadic at times and are not unlearnable. The music speaks for itself. I don't really need to say much else about it. This fight also does a very awesome thing where it makes you play one way in Phase 1, and then it does a complete 180 flip around and makes you play a complete separate way in Phase 2. One of the coolest things I've seen, and keeps the player on the edge of their seat. Another thing about this fight is there's really not a lot of ways to cheese it, at least compared to some of the other bosses, particularly in Elden Ring. So if you can't complete the fight, even with a Mimic tier, you're about out of luck, because there's not really a lot of ways to deal with them other than taking them on head on. At this particular point in the game, I feel a boss like this is appropriate because you've take on the most difficult challenge. There's probably been to a Halig Tree, taken on Malenia, defeated Malenia, and now you're here on your way back up to the Elden Throne. And how fitting is it that the Elden Lord comes down and takes the Tarnished on? I think that's such a cool concept. Honestly, I really wish this would have been the last fight of the game. I feel like it is the most fitting. I get where they're going with Radagon and Elden Beast and, the whole America storyline, but this fight was so appropriate, and I think it is the perfect quintessential essence of Elden Ring. Overall, out of all the Souls games, I've enjoyed so many boss fights. I love the Souls games, obviously, that's what my channel is based around. But I feel that this fight is just on another level as far as cinematic greatness. Maybe there's better fights as far as certain aspects, but when you mix them all together, it's a perfect blend. Overall, I give this fight a 10 out of 10, and again, I'd place it above the likes of any other fight I've ever went against in Elden Ring. I hope the DLC gives us something even better, hopefully. I mean, I've heard some promising things about it. I'm excited to it. I'm excited for the future of Elden Ring, this game, and, obviously, if they make more bosses like Godfrey, then we're going to be getting spoiled, because that is an absolutely amazing fight. If you like this video, of course, as always, you're more than welcome to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. Please comment and tell me below who the greatest boss in your opinion is, and please be respectful of my opinion. Anybody else's opinion might have thoughts on it, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.